Hi, SweetWork Nation, Doug Lawyersmith here, and today's Sweet View is related to negotiations. There's a book out there called Getting to Yes by Roger Fisher. It's got some of these concepts in it and it's very fascinating. But I'm going to walk through 5 negotiation tactics that are going to set you free at the negotiation table. Now I'm going to leave you hanging a little bit in this Sweet View because these 5 concepts are pretty deep and are going to take a lot longer than this video to go through them. But I'm at least going to introduce them to you, do some of your own research, talk to me about them. Happy to cover those in more detail. But the first one is anchoring. Drop your anchor first because the odds are you're going to end up pretty close to the anchor that you set in the negotiation. The second one is what we call RV or reservation value. That's a really fancy term for what's your walk price. Because if you go into negotiation and you don't have a walk price, you might actually end up getting desperate and signing on to a deal that's not valuable to you. The third is ZOPA, or Zone of Possible Agreement. This is a really positive term at the negotiating table because this is truly your zone and your client's zone of where you can probably find agreement. Now your job is to figure out what that ZOPA is because the client's not going to come out and tell you what their zone is. So that's a big part of your calculation process is figuring out ZOPA. The fourth is tradables, and this is a term that Kevin Lyle, a friend of mine, uses that I really like. And a tradable is anything that a client might give up that doesn't cost them much or anything, and the same thing on our end, something we might be willing to give up that's beneficial to the client but doesn't cost us much. An example of that might be payment terms. We might be able to extend payment terms for a client that's hugely valuable to them, but doesn't really cost us that much. So think of your tradables. And then your fifth item, which is the most complex of all of them, is BATNA, your best alternative to a negotiated deal. And that comes from the Getting to Yes book. And BATNA is a fancy way to say, if you don't do this deal, what's my best alternative to use my resources and time for with another potential client? Those are your 5 tactics to think about at the negotiation table that will set you free. For all you RGPers out there, this concept of negotiation is covered in one of the courses that we just released for you guys. For everyone else, if you want to learn more about negotiating or sales tactics, I'd love to hear from you at doug@sweetwork.com. Talk to you guys all there. Take care.